Hey, good morning, good morning. It is Monday. It is time to get the week started. For a lot of us, we're just rolling back in from a 3 day weekend. For those of us who weren't so lucky, like yours truly, we're coming in from a regular 2 day weekend. I just wanted to give a quick pep talk. Not only do the friends in my inner circle give me this pep talk whenever I need it, but I figured that in order for us to move through these crazy times and to heal up and to push forward, we got to keep in mind that we didn't get this far to only get this far. So, why am I saying that? A lot of us have or had relationships with narcissistic people. A lot of us went through or actually, let me put it this way: all of us have had relationships with narcissistic people. The type of relationships can vary: intimate partner relationships, parental relationships, you know, family, sibling, cousin, employer, employee, friends. These are all different types of relationships. But the reason why that we are here, looking at my channel, looking at other channels, going on Google, all this stuff, figuring things out, is because we've been hurt by these individuals in whatever way, whether it's intimately, like, this was a sexual partner that we were with, or this was someone who we considered our best friend. We've all been hurt. The good thing is that we as people can push forward. We have that innate ability, all of us have that innate ability to heal up, push forward, and become the heroes in our own story, right? Narcissistic people gravitate to good people. That's just the way it works, right? I guess you could say opposites attract. The way I look at it is more like predator and prey, right? Narcissistic individuals come to you for supply, whether it's resources, whether it's attention, sex, money, connections, whatever. There's something that you have that they want, and they'll do what they have to do to get what they want from you, and once they suck you dry, they're out. And you're left as a little dried husk on the road. Period. No explanation, no closure, no nothing. Now, of course, if they see you perking up, or if the other husks that they go to aren't giving them everything they need, they're going to come back around and look at you and pick you up and see what they can do to get more from you, right? Now, it's your job, it's my job, it's our job to understand these individuals, understand how they affected us, and understand how we can heal up and make ourselves bulletproof to narcissistic people, and to pick up the pieces of our lives. Guaranteed that most of the time you're going to waste a lot of time with narcissists. Always. They're going to come in, they'll promise you the world, and it could be a couple of weeks, a couple of months, it could be a couple of decades that they will trap you in this hamster wheel of love bombing, devaluing, discarding, hoovering, love bombing, devaluing, discarding, hoovering. They'll trap you in that hamster wheel. And it's very easy to just let a lot of time slip by. And when you're finally out of that situation, you look back and you're like, oh my God, I wasted this opportunity. I lost this friendship. I didn't pursue this dream. And it's easy to beat yourself up. I've been there. I know. I wasted over a decade with two individuals who proved to be narcissistic. And I had to come to terms with the fact that, number one, time moves forward, it doesn't move back. So any time that you did lose, you can't get it back. That's just the nitty gritty, and you have to grieve that. That's part of the healing and grieving process. However, what I did learn was that even though I lost a bit of time pursuing these people, building up their dreams, being there for them, I can still, at any moment in time, turn things around and start loving myself, building myself up, and pursuing my own purpose. That's the Monday motivation. Today is the day that you can reaffirm to yourself that you're going to follow your own purpose. You're going to get back to building up your own life, building up your own health, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Yes, they took a lot from you. They took your trust, they took your love, they took your money, they took whatever. And this goes for guys and girls. Narc abuse is irrespective, or does not care what color, race, religion, creed, gender you are. They're all over. Okay? But you are the hero of your story. You have the power to turn things around in your life personally. You do. You are smart enough. You are capable enough. You are intelligent enough. You know how to ask the right questions. The fact that you're out here researching this, you're watching videos, you're Googling things, you're writing things down, you're pondering, you are capable of rebuilding your life. To not just how it was before you met these narcissistic individuals, or just enough, right? Not breaking even. No, you are capable of building something that is 5, 10, 100 times better. And I mean that in all seriousness. 100 times better than when you were with these narcissistic people in whatever relationship, intimate, family, employer, employee, business, whatever. You are capable of turning this around. So, that being said, in life, as I always tell everybody, you can only go through it or grow through it. Those are the only two choices. You're going to go through life anyway. Why not grow through it as well? I hope this motivates you guys. I hope this encourages someone out there who feels that maybe they just want to quit. I've been there. Trust me, I stared into the void, into the black abyss of despair, depression, all that. I did that. And I pulled out, and I was like, you know what? I pulled out of that black hole. And I said, no, there's something better. There's something bigger. I'm capable of getting through this. And I had to convince myself of that. I had to call on the universe, God, fate, karma, whatever, and say, I need whatever strength I need all of it right now to pull this out. And I got out of that black hole. I remember very vividly, it was a couple of days, a couple of weeks after the discard with my ex, and I was driving on the GWB, George Washington Bridge, and I wanted to stop the car and just dive off the banister. And because at the time, I did not understand why the breakup had occurred the way it did. I didn't understand about MPD. I didn't know anything about that. I was still blaming myself. And it was a really, really rough time in my life. I had just started a new job. I was recovering from a car accident. It was pandemonium, chaotic. I said, not something else. And at the time, my ex I considered her my best friend. I considered her the person I would give my last breath of oxygen to. And for that to fall apart, I was just like, that's it. I'm throwing my chips in, I'm throwing my towel in, I'm throwing everything in the kitchen sink in. That's it, I'm done. But as I was driving the GWB, something was telling me, do not let your foot off the gas. Keep driving. Keep going forward. You got this. You will figure this out. So I drove. And I drove and I drove and I drove. And I drove around a little bit. Finally came home. And I said, you know what? I've got to pull through this. I've got to. I've got my kids looking at me. I've got myself looking at me. I've got my mom looking at me. I've got my friends looking at me. I cannot afford to quit or give up. I have it in me. And that's what I did. Time went by. Months later, I started up this channel. I also went to therapy. That was one of the first things I did. I started going to therapy. I started doing a lot of research. I mean, I was doing hours and hours. I mean, I watched hundreds of hours of videos just on YouTube alone. Not to mention the hundreds of blogs that I don't know about hundreds, but yeah, I would say hundreds of articles of blogs that I've written. Read. I haven't written them yet. Read, describing NPD, sociopathy, psychopathy, all that. And I started to understand what was going on. And now I'm in a much better frame of mind. And even then, knowing what I know, thankfully I have a good support network around me of people who remind me and who will help me whenever my wheels get stuck in the mud on something. They're like, hey bro, come on. You know X, Y, and Z. And I appreciate that, right? So I share that story to say this. No matter where you are in your journey, in your healing process, you got this. You can push forward. You can. You absolutely can. It does get better. Yes, the love of your life pulled out, or they discarded you, or they cheated on you with your best friend or whatever. Yeah, that happens. That absolutely happens. Happens a lot more than we believed. It's been happening for centuries. Okay? I guarantee if you look in your family, you're going to find narcissistic people. Grandparents, great-grandparents, great-grand-uncles, aunts, all that. I guarantee you. It's been happening for so long. But now the information is coming out there. And now we're able to actively fix ourselves so we don't give these kinds of people any more attention, any more supply, any more anything. We want to rid the world of narcissistic behaviors. So, it's Monday. You're going to do great. You are your hero in your story. All right? Remember, in life, you're going through it or growing through it. And I hope you grow through it. Have a good one, guys.